Greetings fellas, welcome back to yet another guide video. This time we are going to make a review for Dan Feng, Imbibitor Lunae, but in this guide we call him Dan Feng because this is Dan Feng's previous reincarnation that he has accepted. Being a destruction path here can be good and bad for him because he acts more like a hunt character, to be honest, and from his light cone, this is where his path can shine and also be his failure ultimately. His best light cone will be brighter than the sun, which is his signature light cone, giving him crit rate, and 2 stacks of Dragon's Call from his basic attacks give him 36% of attack. And you need an S2 light cone in order to maintain 3 basic attack, figurine leaps, and full energy, because then again his energy is 140 cost, which is the highest in the game so far. So coming back to the light cone here, we have 12% energy regeneration rate, and unfortunately not enough to maintain. So one way he can maintain is to get an S2 light cone, or he can get hit once from any enemy in the game. Even trash mobs, just one hit and he will definitely get full energy. This is where Dan Feng's weakness comes in, and you can get an S2 light cone to solve that, like I already said, but this is the part where he really shines as a destruction character because he gets 125 taunt value. So then again, Dan Feng will definitely get hit at least once or twice during the 3 turn period. So then again, you do not need an S2 light cone for Dan Feng at all. So moving on to the traces, I've already upgraded everything, but I also tested him at first tree, second tree, and upper tree. So this means I've also tested a level 1 Dan Feng in Memory of Chaos. Yes, he does perform surprisingly a level 1 Dan Feng with any destruction light cone. Even the free-to-play ones work just as well. So being an imaginary weakness breaker and the best one yet in this game, this light cone on the fall of an Eon works very well if you can secure a break almost every time and you're facing imaginary weakness enemies. So a team of Welt, Locha, Dan Feng, Yukong, they can definitely be very good at weakness breaking here. So if Dan Feng is able to weakness break every 2 turns, he's going to use this light cone to the most effect. If you don't have on the fall of an Eon for some reason, you can also use a secret vow, or you can even use under the blue sky, but under the blue sky only works if you can secure kills every 3 turns, then under the blue sky will work. Dan Feng revolves around a mechanic called the Squammer Sacrosancta, which is an auxiliary skill point system. So this means that you can get your stacks from your technique, which means entering a battle with your technique as well as your ultimate. So this means if you use your technique and your ultimate, you will definitely get 3 stacks. The main difference between the skill is that Blade uses his skill to enhance his ultimate, his follow-up, and his basic attack. However, Dan Feng's skill will only enhance the basic attack all the way from Beneficent Lotus, that's his basic, and then Transcendence, single target, Divine Spear, which is a blast, and Fulgurant Leap, which is yet another blast. So this means Transcendence is 1 stack of Sacrosancta, Divine Spear 2, Fulgurant Leap 3. Now for the relic choices, it is highly situational on your substats. So then again, we are going to prioritize on crit rate, getting 100% crit rate. This is your main priority. Now why I say that crit rate is a priority here is because look at the traces again and you find out that Fulgurant Leap is a 7 hit attack. So if you're not going to hit your crit hits, for example, if you have a 75% crit rate, you have a 25% chance of not critting at least like a few attacks in here, or even no crits, but that's very unlucky, I would say. You want every hit of the Fulgurant Leap to be a crit hit, because if he doesn't land a crit hit, you are going to lose a lot of damage, especially because his kit relies on crit damage here and just normal damage here. So it is actually better for you to use crit rate body instead of crit damage. and this decision is final from me. You will definitely want to build crit rate so that you can balance out the damage potential and maintain consistency in your damage phases. Now for the 4-piece here, we are looking at Musketeer of Wildweed. 4-piece is very good. Why so? Because this is a very highly efficient 4-piece to farm, since you're also getting basic attack damage. But then again, like I said, your relic is basically determined on your substats. For your crit damage, you want at least 100% crit damage. That's good enough, because I really tried this with a 0 cycle clear with a 100% crit rate, 100% crit damage. It was a bit harder to achieve, but I did it. Even at E0, crit damage really depends on your Silver Wolf, depends on your Bronya, whether they are maxed out tracers or not. So like mine, they're maxed out tracers. That's why I was able to 0 cycle clear with 100% crit damage at one point in the game. Just letting you know. Say example, if you have already maxed out your crit rate, then go for crit damage, then attack percentage, because Dan Feng is lacking his attack percentage, and then only defensive substats. So this is how my Dan Feng got 1000 defense, 3.7k HP, because I also focus on his defensive substats, HP defense, because then again he's a glass cannon, you have to remember that. So I'm having like 18% defense here, so that fixes his survivability a little bit. But then again, a Dan Feng is the rare kind of character that heavily favors HP over defense due to the nature of how the light cone stats are distributed, as well as his base stats from the character stats. We can even go with a 2-piece, imaginary 2-piece musketeer. That one is the best one. However, this is not the most efficient way to farm, and I would definitely recommend that you get a 4-piece musketeer of Wildweed and be done with it, because you're going to waste a lot of Trailblaze power on the imaginary set, and then you get, for example, a fire set that you don't even need. However, be noted that the 4-piece imaginary set is not the best set, because the 4-piece is highly situational. But then again, Dan Feng is not able to use the 4-piece as often if, for example, you're not using mono imaginary team. That is the main problem. And then the other thing is that if Dan Feng is not able to weakness break at least 3 times per rotation, then that's really bad. So that's why I don't recommend the 4-piece. And then again, we are not going to weakness break the boss every 3 turns, are we? Now for the 2-piece set, we are looking at attack percentage and imaginary damage, or even an attack. Why not energy regeneration rate? Is because Dan Feng is not able to hit specific energy regeneration breakpoints. That's number 1. And number 2 is that he is lacking his attack a lot. So then again, his tracers are looking on his attack percentage. So if his attack percentage is lacking, he is definitely going to do less damage. Now I know that you say that, but Dan Feng already gets so many stacks of Squamous Sacrosancta from his ultimate and definitely more skill points here, but no, this is definitely not the case. Even with energy regeneration rope I've already tested, by the way, he is not doing enough damage to make up for the stacks of Sacrosancta. So even with the extra Sacrosancta stacks, he is not going to do as much damage compared to the attack link rope here. So don't even try energy regeneration rate. I've already tried it, so you don't have to try. Why I say attack percentage is good is because, let's say if you have a harmony character that buffs attack to such an extensive degree that it does better and outperforms an imaginary damage boost, by all means go for an attack planisphere. However, this is not happening at the current moment, so we are sticking with imaginary damage boost. That's pretty much it. So to sum up the relic choices again, 2-piece Musketeer of Wildweed, 2-piece imaginary set, that's the most ideal. However, 2-piece Musketeer of Wildweed is very good and can be definitely your priority. However, 4-piece is the most cost efficient. And also, now if you don't have any good Musketeer of WoW, we don't have any good imaginary pieces, you can even go with Champion of Streetwise Boxing. Now why I say Champion of Streetwise Boxing is good is because they get a 4-piece bonus, although 2-piece is irrelevant here, but 4-piece is very good, because then again Dan Feng is getting a 25% attack throughout the entire battle permanently upon dealing damage or getting hit. So then again, Dan Feng can use that set. He can even use the ice set, believe it or not, because then again, 2-piece set is irrelevant, 4-piece set is where it shines, because every time he uses his ultimate, despite the high cost, their crit damage increases by 25% for 2 turns. Okay, coming to the Eidolons, we are looking at E1, which basically increases stackable Righteous Heart count by 4 and gains 1 extra stack of Righteous Heart for each hit during an attack. So to summarize, your Divine Spear is doing almost the same damage as Fulgurant Leap depending on your relics and your substats, and also how powerful your skill is upgraded as well as your talent. E1 is quite good, and then this also affects your ultimate. So this means that if your ultimate is doing damage, he's able to use all of the stack counts here, and definitely E1 is a good one to go for. However, this is a very minimal damage increase compared to E2, where when he uses his ultimate, he's advanced forward by 100% and gains 1 extra Squama Sacrosancta. So this is the part where I said that his ultimate gains 3 Squama Sacrosancta instead of 2. And now the way you use this is that you have your ultimate ready up, and then you use your basic attack, charge it to full stacks, and then when your ultimate is ready, you immediately use ultimate, and definitely Dan Feng will get advanced forward immediately. So basically Dan Feng acts like Su Shang in a way. He becomes just as good as Su Shang. Now number 3 is that he gets his skill and basic attack up, so this is very strong actually compared to 5. And for the first time, we're having a damage dealer where his main damage output is being located on the 3rd Eidolon instead of the 5th Eidolon, because normal damage dealers case is that the main source of damage output is located on E5, but Dan Feng is on E3 by the way. So if you want to maximize your Dan Feng, by all means go for E3 and stop there. Now for E4, I haven't tested this out, but I can't say for sure that this is a major damage increase. However, I can say that this outroll from his skill is going to last until the next turn. However, main problem with this Eidolon is that it doesn't stack on top of each other. It just says max of 4 stacks here. So then again, this might not be the best Eidolon for him. That's why I said E3 is the best, and then just stop there. Then for 5, basically ultimate and talent. 6, basically imaginary rest pen increase every time ally does an ultimate. So if you have 3 allies, that means you're going to have 20 times 3, which is 60%. So every ally counts as a harmony unit, in this case specifically for Dan Feng. So very strong increase here. But however, this is for the whale players. However, for the most cost efficient, I would say E2 is good, then stop there. But for E3, those who want to maximize their Dan Feng, then E3 is really good for the long run. Now for Memory of Chaos teams, you want to focus on teams that have imaginary weakness. However, if the teams with no imaginary weakness and you still want to use Dan Feng in that team, fear not. You still have Silver Wolf, which can implant the weakness. So Silver Wolf, Locha, Dan Feng, and Yukong, for example. So that means we have a very strong team here, almost mono imaginary here. Almost, because Silver Wolf also counts as a quantum. So Silver Wolf might apply quantum here, but not here. So this is particularly where Dan Feng shines. However, if Dan Feng does not need to be paired with Silver Wolf, that's totally fine. Dan Feng here, and then Locha, no need Silver Wolf. Then we have Tingyun, Pela, for example. We can even use, for example, Sampo. Now, why I say Sampo is good is because Resolution shines as Pearl Sweat. That guy is amazing, and he only gets stronger when Dan Feng gets to E2, because E2 advances forward his attacks and actions. Sampo's one turn defense down is fully used and utilized to its max potential. So Sampo in this team can actually be very, very nasty for the weakness breaking and also to apply those defense downs. And he's almost guaranteed to apply defense down every time when he uses his ultimate or basic attack even skill. However, for basic attack and ultimate, you're almost guaranteed to land a defense down even though you don't have a effect hit rate body on him. You can just put defense on Sampo, that's it, you're fine. So that's why Sampo is really, really good. However, for Pela, you can even use Pela because her ultimate gives a 2-turn defense down to everyone in the enemy team. So very, very good here. Now, for those 0 cycle clears, this gets very interesting. We have a team like this. We can even have a team like this, for example. However, Silver Wolf is definitely going to be better for more damage output. However, Ting Yun is going to be better for skill point management. That's what I found out during my 0 cycle clear testing. And I found that I'm more comfortable with Silver Wolf for some reason. I don't know why. So then again, this is one of the best 0 cycle clears that I can ever make. So then again, Dan Feng can work with a very, very wide range of buffers. Dan Feng, Bronya, Yukong. But then again, Yukong must be E6 or else this will not work. Bear that in mind. Yukong without E6 even harder to use, but Yukong with E6 just use ultimate and then before Dan Feng uses any action and then you are just fine for the 0 cycle clear. You can even use Ting Yun Yukong here. That's totally fine. A lot of damage buffers, a lot of nihility characters that Dan Feng can use. However, for Bronya, I must say that you must be very, very skill point efficient and you must know what you are doing. For Bronya, you definitely want to focus on the signature, and also Machine Cox is also good for her because she's getting extra energy upon using basic attack. Should there be a case where Dan Feng needs to recharge all his skill points ever again, because let's not forget that Dan Feng is a very skill point hungry unit. So then again, very, very strong teams here. We can put with almost anything. However, the one healer that Dan Feng needs most is Luocha, not Natasha, by the way, because Dan Feng is like a glass cannon, I would say. So Dan Feng with Natasha, if you want to use Natasha, then you better put Fire MC. Now, I've tried this a lot of times with my Seele team. I would say that this team is very much going to be sufficient to survive the endgame content. I would also say that Mono Luocha is also good for Dan Feng. So then again, a lot of teams, a lot of combos you can use. Amazing unit. That's it for the Dan Feng guide.